Hey guys, this is what I call a coaching cue video. I do this for my one-on-ones and I do this whenever I do a new challenge with workouts in it. I will take you through the workout, not doing the whole thing, but just explaining how everything is supersetted, what some of the different styles of rep schemes look like, and just kind of the cues I want you to be thinking of as you're doing each of these exercises and going through your workout. So this workout is booty pump for Monday, day one. Definitely named that because it will pump up your ass. Not joking. That's why I made it this way. First thing you're starting with, before I even go into that, whenever you see on these workouts, if I have a number and a letter, so 1A and 1B, that means those exercises are supersetted. So you're gonna do all the same numbers together and then in the order of the letters. So the first superset that you guys have is rear foot elevated, dumbbell split squat, superset with side plank leg raises. It is meant to be used with weights. If you need to modify anything in order to do these workouts, do it, whatever you need. And if you need help with modifications, ask, and that's what I'm here for. That's why this is a coaching club. I'm here to help you in whatever capacity you need. So if you need modifications on certain things, then just let me know and I can give you different modifications for what you need. On any of the rep and set schemes that I have, it's meant for one, you're already warmed up, so make sure you're warmed up, but you should be using a challenging weight for whatever the reps are. So if the reps are 10, it should be difficult for you to get those 10 reps with whatever weight that you're using every single set. If you're using a weight and you really could have done 20 reps and I have put down to do 10, and you could have done 20, you are not using a challenging enough weight. You want to only be able to do 1 or 2 more reps. I call it leaving 1 or 2 reps in the gas tank. So you want to only be able to do 1 or 2 more reps if you were pushing yourself to your max limits and that was the most you could do. That's the weight you want to be using. So if on this first one, I have 10 each leg. So use a weight where by the 10th rep, it is freaking burning and it's a struggle to get there. Always have good form. We never want to compromise our form on any lift. But we do want to use a weight that is challenging and it's hard to get to those reps while we still have good form. So holding dumbbells at your sides, you want to put your foot on the bench behind you. Make sure that your front foot is out far enough to where this shin is in a straight line and you're sitting down. You're not going forward, you're just sitting straight down. So my shin's in a straight line, I'm sinking down, and then I'm driving up through my heel, pushing my weight through my heel, digging a floor in the ground. My core is tight and engaged, driving up through that heel. Go down, drive up through the heel. Down, up through the heel. And when you're coming up, squeeze your quads. Squeeze the muscles you want to be using. So after you do 10 on that leg, switch, do 10 on the other. And then you have side plank with leg raises. When you do a side plank, make sure that your body is in a straight line. So we don't want to be leaned over. We don't want to be bent. We want to be straight line. Straight, like this. Elbow underneath our shoulder, hips raised up. Arm either on your hip or up in the air, not in front of you. When we put our hand in front of us, 1, slightly cheating. 2, you're then angled sideways, and we want to be straight line. So then on top of that, you're gonna do leg raises. So 10 each leg. Keep this tight, keep your hip up, 10 leg raises each side. Then rest, go back to the split squats, back to the side planks. You're doing that 3 times. For your next exercise, you have one of my favorites. You're gonna need a mini band, and you'll put this around your knees. You're only gonna do this 1 time. So you're gonna do it, go up as high as you can. Use a weight that I would say is probably your 10 rep max on hip thrust. So definitely challenging, definitely heavy. If I were doing this for real in an actual workout, I'd probably have 235, 285, something like that on there. This is just for the sake of timing, me not really being warmed up. And just easiness for me within this coaching demo. Since I'm talking while I'm doing it and I'm already out of breath. Okay, so make sure you are using a hard weight. I would say like 10 rep max on hip thrust. Because again, only doing this 1 time. What you're gonna do, slide it under, rest it on your hips. Lift up to where like your shoulder blades are catching you on the bench. Feet out. So you're going to do 1 hip thrust and then 1 abduction. So that's when we're going away with our knees. Then you're doing 2 hip thrusts, 2 abductions. Then you got 3 hip thrusts, abductions, and you are going up as high as you can. If you can get to 10 on this the first time, your weight is way too light. So then you need to make sure that you're upping your weight, because my goal is by the end for you to try and get to 10 reps, but I really don't want you to. I want it to be heavy enough that it's burning by like 5 or 6 or 7 and you're dropping it. And then you're trying to beat that each week by getting like one more. So you're doing that just one time. Then you're done with that, moving on to, oh, that is super set. Okay, so after you do that one time. Then you have weighted hollow hold. So you're gonna hold a weight. Hollow hold, the whole purpose of this is try to keep our low spine down on the ground. You're gonna lift the weight up here, raise your shoulders up, going straight to the ceiling. So not crunching forward, not lifting our head forward, going straight up to the ceiling, lift your feet up at 6 inches, and then push your low spine through the ground. We don't want any arches in our low spine. So shoulders up, feet at 6 inches, everything is tight. You're gonna hold this for 20 seconds, and then you're gonna rest for 10 seconds. Then you're gonna go back up, hold for 20 seconds. Then you're gonna rest for 10. You're gonna go back up, hold for 20 seconds. You're gonna do that a total of 4 times. And then moving on to the next thing. So you'll do one time the pyramid with the hip thrusts and abductions, then you'll do the hollow holds, and then you are going on to 45-degree back extension. This is gonna be rigged for me because I don't have an actual 45-degree back extension. If your gym does, heck yeah, use that. If not, then do this rigged version. Okay. So again, rigged version. If your gym has an actual 45-degree hyper, it's gonna, or back extension, it's gonna be like a 45-degree angle. And then you'll be leaning on it like this, and the pad will be right here. So you're already gonna be in a 45-degree angle, and then you just go down, come up, go down, come up. I don't have one of those, so I made up my own version on an actual, this is a GHR machine, you can do GHRs on it, back extensions. So I'm gonna show you my rigged version in case you don't have a 45-degree back extension. If you do, then use the 45-degree one. Make sure, if you do have the 45-degree one, your legs are gonna be straight. Externally rotate your feet, so turn your feet outwards. This is what is really gonna hit your butt, like so good. Externally rotate your feet. So my rigged version, you want to adjust this to where your knees and your hips can fit on this so that I will be positioned in a 45-degree angle. My feet are gonna be up here, but I'm gonna be externally rotating my feet just like I want you to do if you have an actual 45-degree back extension. So, this is way too close. All right, so, right here. So now I'm at a 45-degree angle. My feet are externally rotating, gonna be pressing against that, but here I'm at 45 degrees. I want you guys to use weight, so if I had a big, huge weight, I'd grab one, so I'd get my weight, pick up, get my weight right here. So you're really not getting a ton of range of motion, but that's fine. I promise you're gonna feel it. So holding your weight, you're bending down, coming up, raising up to this 45-degree angle, and squeezing your butt, especially with your feet turned outward, externally rotated. Woo! So, go forward, squeeze your buns. Go back down, I'm holding this weight, this imaginary weight. Squeeze your buns. Go down, squeeze your buns. It's literally burning by me doing 4 reps and no weight. So, imagine 2 sets of 15 with weight. Then, for the last little bit, don't fall. Then you have my favorite, panted glute series. You're going to want to put the band around your knees. You're going to do everything on one side before you flip to the other. So the first thing you have is leg raises. Point your toe down. You're gonna do 20 leg raises right here. There's really no point in bringing your foot all the way down. You wanna keep tension on the band the whole time you're doing this. So this is about as low as I'm going, and then I'm raising up, toe pointed down. So do 20 of these, and then with my leg up here, higher, I'm gonna do 10 circles. So I'm going 10, in one direction, 10 in the other direction. Try to not sway all over the place. Keep yourself locked down and just move from your hip right here. So 10 in one direction, 10 in the other direction. And then bring your knee to your chest. So my leg is raised up, not down here. My leg is raised up. Bring in my knee all the way up to my chest. You got 20 of those. Then you're gonna be right here and do 20 fire hydrants, because we're going all on one side and then we'll switch to the other. 20 fire hydrants right here. Bring the band down to your ankle. Put one side over this top part of your shoe. When you do this, tilt your pelvis under. So my core is squeezed and engaged. I'm tilting my pelvis, and you want to keep your pelvis tucked in right here. This is going to prevent us from being like this when we do our kickbacks. So tuck your pelvis under, bring your foot up, and then bring your flat foot up to the ceiling and really contract this glute. Contract the one that you're squeezing. So tuck your pelvis, squeeze your core, and you're not really doing much range of motion here. I'm already feeling it. Then you would switch and do all the reps for the other side. Woo. Last thing, with all of these workouts, there is a challenge built into the workout. So the workouts in general are challenging. You want to try and do better every week, but there is a challenge at the end or part of each workout. For this one, you have 1 minute of goblet squat. So you're gonna, goblet squat is holding your weight right here. You wanna pick a weight that will be 30% of your weight. And if you guys need help working that, I'll help you, but take your weight, multiply it by 0.3. Grab that weight, hold it right up here. When you do goblet squat, hold just like front squat, roll your shoulders back, think big boobs. That is keeping thoracic extension, which is squeezing all this right here, keeping it nice and tight. So right here, and then feet screwed into the ground, screwing my feet into the ground, squeezing my butt, engaging my core, thinking big boobs, starting this movement by pushing my knees out. So it's not this, that is a hip hinge bending motion. Squat is a knee bend motion. So I'm sitting down, squeezing my butt to stand up. Sitting down, squeezing my butt to stand up. All your weight on your heels. And you're gonna do as many reps as you can in 1 minute. So set your timer and then just go to town. You're using a weight that's decently challenging, 30% of your actual weight, going as fast as you can, making sure to get depth. You wanna go low, ass to grass. The lower you go, the more we're working our hamstrings and our butt. If you're just going right here, that's not a full squat. For sure you wanna hit 90 with your knees, but if you can go lower without having a butt wink and having your butt dip under, you wanna go that low. Again, lower you go, the more muscles you're recruiting. So make sure that you track and record, count how many reps you get, because that is what you wanna be beating from week after week for this booty pump workout.